Why are so many people flipping out about data collection and sharing? Now, I know what you may be thinking. Isn't the answer to that obvious? I mean, when corporate America spies on you through your phone or laptop, it certainly sounds pretty creepy. But what if I told you that sharing your data could, and I really do emphasize could, actually be a good thing? Here's how. For starters, the obvious concerns about data sharing can be found practically anywhere you look. Study after study has revealed that most people think data collection has gone way too far. And there's a growing fear among the public about the amount of personal information that private companies and organizations are collecting on us. So much so that lawmakers across America and the EU are either passing or debating sweeping new laws to regulate data collection. Some even want to ban popular social media apps out of the fear that the companies or certain parties behind them are collecting too much data on people. But here's the thing, with some obvious exceptions, your data is usually valuable to you, maybe the company, but not really anybody else. And this gets to why companies collect data in the first place. The number one reason is so obvious that sometimes we forget it. Unlike governments, companies can't force you to fork over your money. Sony and Apple can't threaten you with armed force. They have to convince you through things like advertisements and marketing campaigns, which can be very expensive. But if the goods or services they're advertising aren't things you're interested in, then they're out of luck and a ton of money. Companies want to increase their odds of being able to sell you something, and by having a better idea of what you're interested in, they can do a better job of tailoring their products and services to meet your needs. One example that often gets overlooked is something like this. Imagine a family discovers that their child is suffering from a chronic health condition. By sharing data with healthcare companies or medical supply stores, they are now offered products and services specifically tailored to their child's needs. This can make their life easier and provides them with valuable resources that they had no idea even existed. Things like this happen all the time, but they often get ignored in favor of headlines warning us about the dangers of data collection or advocating for more government regulation over the sharing of data. And of course, this isn't to say that all data collection and sharing is a good thing. Americans have a Fourth Amendment right to object to the government collecting data on them, but it increasingly seems like politicians in DC only care about data collection in the private sector rather than the federal government's growing surveillance state. Like anything else, politicians love to talk about solutions, when in reality, what we're dealing with here is trade-offs. Data collection is like so many other things in society. It can be used for good or ill. So before politicians start promising us easy answers to complex problems, we should first talk about pros and cons and ultimately let informed consumers make informed decisions about their preferences. Oh, and definitely fight against the government's ability to intervene into what should be private transactions. Because after all, the biggest threat of data collection is less what a company does with it and more about what politicians would like to do with it.